For my node Readme generator project, I am just going to quickly walk you through how to go about using the program I created for the app. And so I'm going to be using the integrated terminal in VS Code. I just feel like that was what was easiest for me. So what I'm going to do to start is come down to my terminal, and you do have to have Node already installed, but I went and put all of the resources you might need or references down at the bottom of my JavaScript code, and I will include those in my README for the project. But it just will give you websites like the NPM website, Inquire, because you need that, and Pretty Air to run this. So what you're going to do is you come over here, and once you've installed Node, then you type node space project file .js, because that was what I called my JavaScript file. And then you're going to come, once you've done that, and hit enter. So this is what you want to see in your integrated terminal. You want to be able to see it start asking you questions. And you do have to use your arrow functions to get through these questions in the terminal. So, and for the sake of time, I am just going to do really short, quick responses so you can see kind of how you would fill this out. So you start by typing your GitHub username, and then you're going to enter the name of your repository. And then enter the title of your project. And then a description. I'm going to be very brief though here, and I'm just going to write description. And then here, you're going to have to use your arrow key functions to find the correct license. So I'm just gonna pick one. And I used my arrow keys on my keyboard to get down here. And that's how you navigate this section. Then you just hit enter or return. Then these last couple are optional. You don't have to fill them out if you don't want to. Okay, so I've answered all the questions that it brought up for me. And in reality, if I was doing this for one of my own READMEs, I would give more information here. I'm just going to keep it brief. brief for now though. So if this worked, what should happen is on your left pane where you see your files for the project, what should have generated is a readme.md file. So if you click on that, it should look like this. So this is going to be, you're going to be able to click on these links and it'll be a table of contents basically that will direct you to the different sections of your README. But this, for me, this is not as easy to look at. I mean, you can understand it, but what I like to do is, if you want to see how it's really going to look, come over to your README. Don't click on it yet, but then what you're going to do when you can see this is right click and say open preview. And there you go. You should be able to see all of the sections and then your responses to the questions that were asked of you in the integrated terminal. And this looks a lot cleaner for me to look at here than on here. So that's why I like doing the preview. And then you can go back here and add in things that you want it to say. So if I put zebra on installation and save it and come back here, we've added zebra on there. So hopefully this is a pretty user-friendly project for people to use, and I think it will give you consistency and it looks pretty clean, which I really like. So then I'll just walk you through my project really quick. Basically, I try to make a lot of notes so that you can understand what my thought process was or where I was referencing other programs or websites. So you do have to, in this, you have to tell it to require to access the local file system. So we've done that here. And then we're telling it right here that we want to require that Inquirer be used. So you need to have Node downloaded, Inquirer, and then I also add, and this is going to help, Inquirer is going to help you ask your questions that we had down in our integrated terminal. So it's pretty handy. And then I also included this pretty error. So I've got that set to required right now. I did that because when I was trying to debug and troubleshoot, this just made it so clear in my integrated terminal. It made it a lot more clear to me where I was having issues, and I liked it. It highlights things in different color down in your terminal. It was helpful for me. So that's why that's there. And then what we're going to do is we're having it say, please generate a markdown file. And so that's what's happening here. And then these sections are in reference to creating badges, licenses, that sort of thing. Then if you come down to this part, I'm starting to work on questions that you can ask a user. So as you can see, when we were actually looking at the integrated terminal, you get an input field. So that's the type where it has you fill in this one is in regards to your username on GitHub. So it's going to be called username, and then I am going to get a pop-up question that says enter your GitHub username, and then I'm running tests here to validate that you have at least put a answer to the question above. And if you don't, it's gonna not work. So So you do, I do have checks and balances kind of through here just to make sure that this is run correctly. We've got tests and checks underneath the questions, not on all of them, but on some of them. So same thing, it's saying what type of input field do you want, and then this is in regards to the repository, and then you're going to have what is the name of your GitHub repository, and then test it. So that's kind of what we have all through here. These are more optional questions. You can see that because they don't have tests that are run after them. And then we come down to here, and you're going to see this matches our README file. So it's the layout for our README file that we're going to be using. And then it's writing the file here. And if it has any errors, it will tell you. And then right down here, I have got, again, a whole bunch of references you can refer to if you need to know where you could get other packages that may be helpful. You can go to npm, or you can see down here where you would need to go to get the Inquire and Pretty Air packages. And then I've also referenced a bunch of places I looked. I was looking at how to handle errors, and then I also referenced other people's projects, and I've included their links here. I wanted to try to reference projects that I thought were really well put together. So I put their links here, and hopefully this is fairly easy to follow and understand, but please feel free to reach out or contact me if you have any questions, and then you should end up with a README that looks really clean, and that's going to be this markdown file that's over here. So thanks.